My abusive wife hit me, shouting, "You'll never leave!" I walked out that night with nothing but my keys. She woke up, served with divorce papers, and my voicemail blew up with begging calls. I'm 34 months. Still processing, honestly. Last night was the end. My wife, Clara, 33 years old, and I have been married for 6 years. The last two, rough. Doesn't even cover it. It wasn't always physical. Mostly the comments, the control, the slow chipping away at my confidence, making me feel small so she could feel big. But last night crossed a line I didn't even know I still had. We were arguing again. This time about something stupid. Me wanting to go see my brother this weekend. She didn't want me to. Said I didn't need to see my family, that I should want to spend the time with her. It escalated like it always does. Her voice getting louder, mine getting quieter, trying to de-escalate. Then she cornered me in the hallway. Literally blocked my path. Her eyes were wild. "You think you can just do whatever you want. You're mine." I tried to move past her, just wanting space, and that's when she slapped me. Hard, across the face. It stung like hell, but the shock was worse. Before I could even react, she spat out, "Will never leave me. You hear me? Never." Something inside me just snapped. Quietly, no yelling back, no fight. Just clarity. While she was still ranting, I turned around, walked to the entryway table, picked up my car keys, my wallet, and my phone. That was it. Didn't grab the charger, a change of clothes, laptop, nothing else. Just keys, wallet, phone. I walked out the front door, didn't look back, got in my car and drove. Didn't even know where I was going at first. Ended up at a 24-hour diner, shaking, drinking lukewarm coffee. The red mark on my face was already fading, but the feeling wasn't. Didn't call the cops. Honestly, in that moment, all I could think about was getting away, not escalating things further right then, not dealing with the potential drama of involving police at the apartment. Just needed space and safety. Maybe I should have, looking back. But escape was the only thing on my mind. Spent the rest of the night in the car, then found a cheap motel first thing in the morning. Used my phone, running on low battery, to start researching lawyers online. Found one highly recommended for contentious divorces involving abuse. Had a small, just-in-case fund saved up separately she didn't know about, plus an emergency credit card. Called the lawyer's office that morning, day one. They couldn't see me immediately, but scheduled an urgent consultation for the next day, day two. Met with the lawyer on day two. Paid the retainer. Explained everything, showed them the mark that was still faintly visible. They got the ball rolling fast, citing the abuse. Papers were drafted and filed, and by the afternoon of day three, a process server was at our apartment. Clara got served. My phone, which I'd bought a cheap charger for by them, started blowing up almost immediately. Voicemails, texts, non-stop, all Clara. First, confusion. "Where are you? What is this?" Then panic. "Baby, come home. We can talk about this. It was a mistake." Then tears, or crocodile tears, IDK. "Oh, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Don't do this." Then begging. "I love you. We can fix this. Just come back." I haven't answered. Haven't listened to most of the voicemails. Just watched the notifications pile up. Still in this motel room. Feels weirdly quiet. And empty. But also lighter? Update 1. Wow. Didn't expect the replies on my first post. Thanks for the support, seriously. It helped more than you know. Quick update on this dumpster fire. So, the bigging calls text stopped after about 48 hours post-serving. Silence, which was almost creepier. Then the real Clara showed up. The entitlement is staggering. She hasn't contacted me directly. Lawyer probably told her not to, or maybe she just knows I won't answer. But the flying monkeys? Oh yeah, they're out in force. First, it was her sister, Jenna, 30F. Left me a furious voicemail. Didn't ask my side, didn't ask if I was okay. Just launched into how I'm a coward for abandoning Clara when she's going through so much. Apparently, I'm the bad guy for leaving after being assaulted. She said Clara is a wreck. Probably true. Her control mechanism just walked out the door. And that I need to man up and fix the mess I made. Yeah, okay, Jenna. Blocked her number. Then, a couple of mutual friends reached out. More cautiously, thankfully. Asking if everything was okay. Heard there was trouble. I kept it brief and factual. Clara became physically abusive. I left for my own safety and have filed for divorce. I didn't file a police report that night, focused on leaving, but the situation was serious. I'd appreciate respecting my privacy right now. One friend seemed understanding. The other got weirdly defensive of Clara, saying stuff like, "Maybe you provoked her. Marriage is hard. You should try counseling." Dude, no. Block that number too. Cutting ties hurts, but not as much as being told I deserve to be hit. The biggest piece of entitlement. My lawyer got an email from hers. Clara isn't contesting the divorce itself. Guess she realized I wasn't bluffing. But her demands are insane. She wants everything. The apartment, it's a rental, lease is up in a few months. She expects me to just vanish from it. The furniture, most of which I bought before we even got married. And get this, spousal support. Her reasoning? According to her lawyer's email, she's emotionally distressed by the sudden abandonment and is unable to maintain her lifestyle without my income. Clara works part-time in retail, decent job, but nowhere near enough to cover the rent and her spending habits alone, which she always relied on my salary for. The lifestyle she maintained by controlling my finances and belittling me. The nerve. My lawyer basically laughed, professionally of course. We responded firmly. No spousal support, given the circumstances, abuse, proposing a fair split of actual marital assets, which isn't much, stating I'll remain on the lease until it expires, naturally in a few months, unless she qualifies to take it over solo beforehand, unlikely. And we'll deal with the deposit then. Still in the motel. It sucks, but it's safe. Started looking for a new place. Found some emails from Clara from before I blocked her main account, sent to my work email. FFS. Not begging anymore. Just cold demands. You need to transfer X amount for the bills. I need the Netflix password back. When are you getting your stuff out? It's cluttering up my space. The whiplash is giving me nausea. 1 minute I'm the love of her life she can't live without. The next I'm a walking ATM who needs to clear out his junk. Feels like this is going to get uglier before it gets better. But still no regrets about walking out that door. ETA. Forgot to mention, she apparently told Jenna I chuffed her during the argument, which is why she reacted. Complete BS. I literally just tried to walk past her. Lawyer says document everything. Doing that. Update 2. All right, strap in. This escalated exactly how I figured it would. The entitlement went nuclear, and the dirty tricks started. Clara apparently didn't like our lawyer's response rejecting her demands. Her lawyer sent back another letter, doubling down. Now she's claiming emotional abuse from me, says my sudden departure and refusal to communicate, except through lawyers, like adults, has caused her immense suffering. She included a list of shared items she's keeping, which, surprise, surprise, includes my grandfather's watch, which I kept in a dresser drawer, and my signed baseball collection, which was clearly mine. Sentimental value stuff, purely to twist the knife. Then the real fun started. I moved into a small studio apartment last week. Yay! Finally out of the motel. Yesterday, I got a call from a debt collector. Apparently, there's an overdue balance of nearly $800 on a credit card that I cancelled over a year ago. A store card for a high-end department store Clara loved. I called the card company directly. Turns out someone, I wonder who, called them last week, claimed to be me, said they'd lost the card, and managed to talk their way past security. Maybe she overheard me giving security answers on the phone before, or guessed based on things I'd told her. Stuff like pet names or old addresses. Enough to convince a probably undertrained call center rep to issue a new card to the old address, which Clara then apparently took on a little shopping spree before the company flagged it as suspicious. Different spending pattern, maybe, and froze it. Identity theft or fraud. Lovely. Filed a police report immediately about the fraud. Sent a copy to my lawyer. He says while the police investigation might take time, the report itself and the initial findings from the credit card company, confirming the new card request, mailing address, and recent usage, are strong evidence of her bad faith conduct during the divorce proceedings. He's drafting a very strongly worded letter to her lawyer about fraud, misrepresentation, and potential legal consequences beyond the divorce. And Jenna? Oh, Jenna. After I blocked her number, she started emailing. Vile stuff. Accusing me of trying to ruin Clara's life, calling me names I won't repeat here. Then she tried fake sweetness. My lawyer sent her a cease and desist letter. She went quiet for about a week, then posted some vague, passive-aggressive crap on social media, obviously aimed at me. Ignored it. Lawyer said the next step, if she continued direct contact, would be pursuing a restraining order. Maybe the CDD finally sunk in that this was serious. Haven't heard anything directly since. Clara also tried messing with practical stuff. Cancelled the internet at the old apartment, which was in my name. Fair enough. But she did it without warning, presumably to be annoying. Tried to access my streaming accounts. Got notifications of failed login attempts. Petty, vindictive crap. Here's the thing, though. Every time she pulls something, it just strengthens my resolve. It proves I did the right thing. This isn't sadness or a mistake on her part. This is who she is. Controlling, manipulative, and willing to burn everything down if she doesn't get her way. The revenge, if you can call it that, isn't about hurting her back. It's about not letting her win through manipulation and lies. It's about letting her own actions create her consequences. My lawyer is now pushing for an expedited settlement conference. We have the initial voicemails showing her admitting fault. We have the documentation of her escalating unreasonable demands. And now we have the police report about the fraud attempt, documented bad faith during separation. We're not asking for anything punitive, just what's fair. Enforce the premarital asset separation, split the few actual marital assets 50-50, deny spousal support based on her conduct, abuse, fraud, and make her responsible for debts she incurred fraudulently or post-separation. Let the chips fall where they may, based on her choices. Still sucks. Still lonely sometimes. But every piece of evidence we gather, every boundary we enforce, it feels like taking back a piece of myself she tried to steal. Final update. It's over. Divorce finalized last week. Figured I owed you guys a final chapter. The settlement conference was something. Clara showed up looking pale and drawn, but the entitlement was still there, simmering beneath the surface. Jenna was with her, outside the room, thankfully, but pacing the hallway like a bodyguard. Clara was still insisting, right up until the conference, that my grandfather's watch and baseballs were gifts, or shared marital property. Pure spite. Her lawyer tried to argue the emotional distress angle again. My lawyer calmly presented the timeline. The slap, the threat, my immediate departure for safety, the begging voicemails, then the switch to demands and hostility, the harassment from Jenna, backed by the CD letter, and finally, the police report regarding the credit card fraud attempt during separation. He pointed out that her actions were the primary cause of any distress in this situation, and the fraud attempt demonstrated clear bad faith. In the fraud came up, Clara tried to deny it. Misunderstanding, must have been a mistake. Her lawyer looked like he swallowed a lemon. The credit card company's initial findings, confirming the call, the address, the usage, and the active police report, were laid out. While not a criminal conviction yet, it was enough to make her look terrible in mediation. Her lawyer likely advised her that fighting this in court, where a judge would see the pattern of behavior, would be disastrous. Same went for the sentimental items. My lawyer had documentation, photos, emails mentioning them as mine from years ago, and pointed out fighting it would cost her more in legal fees than they were worth, possibly opening her to accusations of theft by conversion. The mediator wasn't impressed with her case at all. The fraud attempt basically torpedoed any claim she had to victimhood or spousal support. My lawyer laid out our terms again. No spousal support. She keeps her personal belongings and debts incurred after separation, including the fraudulent ones. I keep mine. Explicitly listing the watch and baseballs. We split the minimal joint savings 50-50. And we both walk away responsible for our own legal fees and future lives. The lease on the old apartment was expiring soon anyway, so it was agreed she'd vacate by the end date, and we'd settle the deposit based on the condition she left it in. Clara started crying. Real tears this time, I think. Tears of frustration, not remorse. She kept muttering, "It's not fair. I gave him the best years of my life." Her lawyer had to tell her quietly but firmly that accepting the deal was her best option. Otherwise, court would likely be worse and costlier. She finally agreed, signed the papers right there. The consequences? They're natural, and they're entirely hers. Finances, no spousal support. With only her part-time retail income, she couldn't afford the apartment on her own once the lease ended. According to that one mutual friend who didn't get blocked, she's staying with Jenna temporarily, which sounds like its own special hell. She's also responsible for the debt she tried to rack up fraudulently. The credit card company is pursuing her for it, armed with the police report number. Assets. She got her clothes and some furniture. I arranged a time, with a friend present, to retrieve my specific belongings, including the watch and baseballs, after the agreement was signed. No big windfall for her. Reputation. The friend network fracture is real. People talk. The story, or at least my side, confirmed by her increasingly erratic behavior and the fraud attempt, got around. Several people who were initially sympathetic to her have distanced themselves. Jenna remains firmly Team Clara, but apparently her defense is sounding increasingly shrill and unhinged to others. Legal. She has a police report on file for identity theft or fraud. While the credit card company might not press criminal charges if she pays up, it's still documented. Not a good look. As for me, I'm okay. Still in my little studio apartment. It's sparse, but it's mine. It's peaceful, asleep through the night now, no walking on eggshells. I reconnected with my brother, see him all the time. Started therapy a couple of months ago, working through the effects of the abuse. It's a process. I still sometimes think about why I didn't call the cops that first night, but I made the choices I could at the time to get myself safe and out. There's no triumphant, I won feeling. Just relief. Immense, quiet relief. Walking out that night was the hardest and best thing I've ever done. She shouted, I'd never leave, but I did. And she faced the consequences, not because I orchestrated some elaborate revenge, but because her own actions caught up to her. She tried to manipulate, control, and cheat the system, and it backfired spectacularly. That's the real justice here. Thanks again to everyone who read and commented. Putting it out there helped me keep perspective. Time to archive this throwaway and move on.